Tonight on Closer Look, the province's Superior Court has quashed an appeal of Tiny Township short-term rental accommodation licensing bylaw. MidlandToday editor Andrew Phillips is covering this story and joins us tonight from Midland. Andrew, we'll get to the ruling in a second, but let's start with why it was needed. What were the issues?
Well, before they were having a lot of issues with noise. There were a lot of concerns about noise, parties, too many people living in a cottage for the amount that it can actually accommodate. So it was just a lot of complaints from neighbors that kind of led to the initiative to create the bylaw in the first place.
Now, there was a group of short-term rental owners who weren't exactly in favor of the bylaw. On what grounds did they challenge it, Andrew?
They kind of said that, well, there was nothing there before, and they had historical precedents where they could rent basically for a weekend, for a night, for the season. And there was no kind of decision on how long they could rent for. The problem with the bylaw, they said, was that basically they can only rent for 92 days a year, and they have to rent for a minimum of 6 nights. So that was intended for the bylaw. They wanted to get rid of kind of the partier type people that might show up just for a weekend or for a long weekend or for a couple nights.
Got it. Okay. Now, the judge was pretty blunt about STR owners facing new restrictions. Did the ruling leave any room for them to challenge the bylaw in the future? Or is the township open to some wiggle room, or is it case closed?
I believe for the township, it's case closed. The Superior Court justice basically said that, the municipality has the right to create this kind of bylaw. It's in a section of the Municipal Act that allows these kind of things to happen. I don't believe that there's a possibility they'll appeal just because they're obviously not happy with the ruling.
Sure.
But whether it leads to an appeal, I don't know, because they're saying that kind of the costs it's too costly for them to rent under this bylaw because they have to pay a $1,500 licensing fee a year. Plus, there's a number of inspections they have to get, including even HVAC, chimney inspection called a wet inspection, electrical inspections every 5 years. So they're saying that they have to outlay too many costs just to kind of supplement their income or pay down their property taxes.
Too cost prohibitive at this point. Okay, so with 115 charges now moving forward, what types of violations are short-term rental operators facing, and what penalties could they receive?
They're facing penalties for not being licensed. They're facing penalties for noise bylaws, for that their tenants are creating havoc, I guess you could say, for the neighbors who happen to live beside these STRs. The penalties they can face range from a fine of $250, $300. Those are kind of the common fine amounts. But they also have a demerit system in place, meaning that if you have a certain number of demerit points, you could actually be suspended from ever renting your STR again, that they won't give you a license.
Andrew, this could very well be precedent setting. How might this ruling influence other municipalities within the province of Ontario that are considering similar short-term rental regulations?
I could actually see a lot of municipalities using this as a background if they plan to, because a lot more municipalities are creating regulations for STRs. Because some say, by allowing STRs, you're taking away from the housing market. And with the housing crisis going on, if you're renting a place for, 2 months a year, you're taking away the opportunity to rent that for a full year. So you are kind of chopping into the housing market a bit in terms of rental properties. But I could see other municipalities using this as a precedent-setting case to go forward with their own plans to create bylaws if they already don't have something in place.
Well, time will tell, I guess, Andrew, if other municipalities adopt the same protocols. There's Andrew Phillips, our editor at MidlandToday, on new short-term rental regulations. That's all for a Closer Look tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. For all of us at Village Media, thanks for watching.